Majority of football leagues in Africa are done and dusted, but this is not to say coaches, scouts, and management will be resting as well. This could easily become the busiest times for coaches and scouts, for new players, so they can beef up and improve their squads for the upcoming season. Now, this is yet again another transfer talk with Oscar Ntsinzi Football. Welcome. I do go by the name of Oscar Ntsinzi Football, where I engage and discuss on anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Here's the thing. Nasreddine Nabi acknowledges that although he had broken the 10-year drought, silverware drought at Naturena, he agrees that there needs to be a whole lot of improvement at Naturena. He needs quality players that has been crying and complaining about throughout the whole season. Now, he is in Tanzania and he's not alone. He is with the chief scout of Kaizer Chiefs, the former Mamelodi Sundowns scout. I'm talking about Utembela Terra Maliwa. And recently on Wednesday, they were watching the NBC Tanzanian League championship game between Simba SC and I think it's Sidinga, and the result ended up being a 1-0. We all know it is an open secret that a Nasreddine Nabi, Kaizer Chiefs, has been linked with the Tanzanian darling in FEISAL FEI Toto SALUM. They've been hunting, wanting. They've even offered money to Azam, but Azam has been complaining that, you know what, it is not matching what they want as a football club for their Tanzanian darling. And they are watching Sidinga and Simba SC. FEI Toto does not play for either of those clubs. Now, they are not just in Tanzania for one player. Rumors are saying that they were watching Simba because of two players they have an interest in. Number one, my favorite at Simba SC, Kibu, Denis, the striker. He likes coming in from the flanks, sometimes the right, sometimes the left, but he can play as a number 9. He is a big boy, and he's someone they're looking at to go and bolster their front line. We all know now that Shivaviro is definitely leaving Kaizer Chiefs, and they signed a Teshrik Morris from SuperSport United just yesterday in the January transfer window, and clearly they are not happy with what they have up front. The lollipop Lillepo they signed from League 1 or League 2 rather in France. He also is more comfortable coming from the wings. He really does not play centrally like a Festen Maela, like a Peter Shalulile, someone that you'll want in and around that box. So clearly they really want another big player that will actually give them some goals come the following season. So Kibu Denis is a player that they are also looking at. Now, news that Nasreddine Nabi Terra, they met with Kibu Denis, are all false. They are all lies. But we all know it's a player they are also closely looking at. He's not the only one at Simba SC that Kaizer Chiefs are looking at. There's also a left back by the name of Mohamed Hussein. He assists a lot of goals, and he scores a number of goals. A very decent Tanzanian left back. He's another one they're looking at. Now you ask yourself, who does Kaizer Chiefs have in that role, in that position, now that they are quickly looking for someone else? I think someone else that might be leaving a Kaizer Chiefs is definitely an Edmilson Dove. I think his contract is coming to an end on the 31st of May. I don't think his contract will be renewed. It's been an injury stay for him at Kaizer Chiefs. So no wonder they'd want to also beef up that position. Another player they signed last July is a Bradley Cross from a golden arrows. He needs competition. He needs someone that will ensure that he raises his game to the next level. It would make sense for Kaizer Chiefs to have another proper quality fullback. It's been a language of every Kaizer Chiefs fan that they need quality in every aspect of the game, in all the positions of the field, and no wonder Hussein might be another player that might be signed by a Kaizer Chiefs. Now let's go to what has been happening at Kaizer Chiefs. They recently let go of Esabelo Khatebe, an MDC graduate. Finally, I mean, we've been waiting for this potential great midfielder, and he has really struggled to even get to break into that starting level. I mean, the boy, I think he's been there since 2020 or so, and he's really struggled. Finally, they have parted ways with Kaizer Chiefs. Funjabulo Blom, another one who went back to Kaizer Chiefs on loan from his mother club, St. Louis City in the MLS. I understand the reasoning behind him wanting to come back to Kaizer Chiefs. He really wanted to crack into that Bafana squad, because Uncle Hugo Bruce had made it clear that any player, South African player, who will play in the US of A, they might as well forget for representing Bafana. He does not rate MLS. He does not rate them at all. So Mailula left, came back to Africa. Njabulo Blom left, came back to Africa. Mailula has been decent for Wydad Casablanca, and Njabulo Blom came back, and this second stint at Kaizer Chiefs has been nothing but below average. I really feel bad for the boy, because he went back to his ex, and but at his ex, things didn't really go down well. I mean, one of the comments on TikTok said, the best place or team for Njabulo Blom, if he was looking for game time or looking for a Hugo Bruce to really recognize him, was probably for him to go to a Stellenbosch, or maybe another club, maybe a Skukune United, a top 8 club in the South African context that really competes, not a walkover team. Maybe if he was playing for these teams, maybe he would have done much better. But now he's going back to his mother club, having, it was in fact a failed loan move for him. He was his former self at Kaizer Chiefs. There's nothing to write home about Njabulo Blom's second stint at Kaizer Chiefs. Now, Feisal is the topic. Now, Kaizer Chiefs is not the only one after the signature of Feisal FEI Toto SALUM. Simba SC, they want him. His former employers, Yanga FC, they also want him. It would make sense, obviously, for Yanga SC to actually sign a Feisal. He's got just a year left on his contract. He is not renewed. Signed a renewal with Azam, so it would mean that Azam will be forced to sell this guy in this transfer window. If they don't, they risk in losing this guy come next year for free. So the position of Azam is they need to sell the guy, because he's already heard offers from a Kaizer Chiefs, from a Yanga, and from a Simba. For Yanga to sign him, it would make sense. They just lost their star man, the Burkina Bay, Stephen Aziz Ki, to a Wydad Casablanca, who are going to the Club World Cup. I mean, which player would not want to join a team that is going to the Club World Cup? Mamelodi Sundowns, I think on this one, they are out. They don't even have to be mentioned, because the chairman, Hlopi Motsepe, made it clear that, they've got a squad that a Miguel Cardoso is happy with especially now that the transfer window for all the clubs going to the Club World Cup will be open from the 1st of June to the 10th of July. They are happy with what they have, so they won't be signing anyone maybe until they come back from that Club World Cup. So Mamelodi Sundowns is out. So the options for a Fei Toto is Simba, is Yanga, Kaizer Chiefs. Now Kaizer Chiefs coach Nasreddine Nabi, together with Terra, they met with the player. In Tanzania, and it appears like Feisal is impressed with the project that they've sold to him. And obviously, Kaizer Chiefs, they are definitely going to pay him better wages than he's getting in Tanzania. But all my Tanzanian followers, guys, please tell me on the comments below, which would be a better destination for your Tanzanian darling? You love the player because he represents Tanzania. Yes, he might be playing for the third biggest team in the country in Azam. But where do you think he should go? Should he maybe go try his luck in the Middle East, or maybe somewhere in Europe? Or do you rate the South African league that highly as well for him to fly down south, either to play, for a Kaizer Chiefs? But the Kaizer Chiefs management, the coach, I think they've made their intention very well. For a coach and a scout to fly there and really to talk to the player and his representative, really is showing the intent from the club. And if this move, if Fei Toto Salum finally signs for Kaizer Chiefs, it would be because of the intentions and the vision that Kaizer Chiefs have painted to the Tanzanian darling. A lot of these videos will be coming up because of a lot of movements, player movements, coach movements, and it transfers. Now, one last thing. Sipho Mbule, he's got Mamelodi Sundowns have an option of a year to trigger for Mbule to stay at Mamelodi Sundowns. Personally, and the way I see it from outside, I don't think Sipho Mbule will be staying at Mamelodi Sundowns with his disciplinary issues. He also failed, and the guy, a small club as Kukuno United sent him back to his mother club because of the same issues. I don't see Mamelodi Sundowns extending this talented player's contract, and that would mean that Sipho Mbule is free. Will a Kaizer Chiefs bring this troublemaker to their headquarters in Naturena? I do not know. But any club that Sipho Mbule will join, this boy is a generational talent. Extremely, extremely good. It is just his off-field antics that are letting him down. If Kaizer Chiefs sign him, they need to really drill him and probably have a regime for him, have a close eye on him, for him to really to focus on this craft of football, something that brings bread and butter to the table for him. If he joins a Kaizer Chiefs, imagine a Fei Toto, a Sipho Mbule, a Thabo Cele, who also signed a 6-month contract. I'm assuming that he'll probably extend with Kaizer Chiefs unless he wants to go back to Europe. Yusuf Mart, that's a decent midfield. Let me hear your comments on the section below. You do support the channel by liking, by subscribing, by sharing, and by also contributing something. When you look at that love icon, the $ there, it is for you to use it. I think you can contribute from like $20 until 10,000 rands. Now, let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.